Once again, the Dark Druid Joel Walling here, and I know a lot of you were expecting a video dealing with the cab drivers involved in the Kurt Cobain case, but after our last Kurt Cobain video, well, there was a lot of controversy in the comments, and I wanted to quickly address that. Now, simply, we had someone making comments that stated that first, the unfired and fired length of a shotgun shell is acceptable on a crime lab report, and the unfired length of a Winchester AA 2 3/4 inch shotgun shell is in fact 2.5 inches. Well, let's address the first thing first. First is the crime lab report stating that it's 2.5 inches and that the unfired length and the fired length are interchangeable to describe the shell. We contacted a local ballistics expert, and he in fact stated that that is true. Each crime lab has their own standards, and if it is acceptable for that crime lab, a unfired length and a fired length are both acceptable measurements for the same shell. However, as you can see on this, I have a highlighted copy of that report. I have a highlighted copy of that report right here in front of you now, and as you can clearly see, it does not state from where and to where the shell was measured. Now, this ballistic expert did in fact say that unless it was saying where and from it was measured, it is still an invalid report. Anything can be 2.5 inches if you don't say where it's measured from and to. The next was the fact that 2.5 inches is the unfired length of a Winchester AA shell. Well, we contacted an expert. We contacted a gun store. We asked them, could you go to your shelf, pull a box of Winchester AA shells off, gave them the rundown, and tell us how long it is? They did it. Walked to their shelf, pulled off the shells, and told us they were 2 1/4 of an inch. So 2 1/4 inches overall before being fired. After firing, they will be 2 3/4 of an inch. That wasn't good enough. We called another one, asked the same question, and got the same answer. 2 1/4 inch. That still wasn't good enough. We called a third, asked the same question, and as you might have guessed, we got the same answer. 2 1/4 inch. A Winchester 20 gauge AA 2 3/4 inch fired shotgun shell is in fact 2 1/4 of an inch before being fired. Now what you're going to see here is simply a video I made. I put up a picture a while back that had me actually copy and paste a shotgun shell from the Seattle Crime Lab's pictures and paste it next to their ruler. And then I drew 3 lines. One line representing where the shell ended, which was 2 1/4 of an inch, where I measured it from, which was 0, and where 2 1/2 inches is. And as you can clearly see, it's longer. 2 1/2 inches, there's a gap. There's plenty of daylight between there. We go back to our comments to put this forward, and we find that a viewer named Michael B actually beat us to it. He went to his local gun store, picked a box of shells up off the shelf, and he measured it. And he got the same answer, 2 1/4 of an inch. But you know, we're not taking sides in any of this. We're not saying this person's right, that person's wrong. We're the only ones that are ever going to be right. That's not why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video to say, go look for it yourself. We found it online. It's out there. Call a gun store. Go to a gun store. If you got a hunter in the family, give them a call. Ask them to measure the shell. I'm sure they've got these. I'm even going to put a link in this video and in the description box to, if I'm not mistaken, Bubba Roundtree Outdoors. I have nothing to do with this channel. I did not even know this channel existed until a few days ago when I YouTube searched it. 2 3/4 inch shotgun shells. This man's video is him making 2 3/4 inch 20 gauge shotgun shells. And he states in it not once but twice how much room you should have left over after the buckshot, which is a 1/2 inch, which if you take a 1/2 inch off of 2 3/4 inches, what do you get? 2 1/4 inch. And how much the overall length of the shell should be before being fired. The link's down there. So trust nothing. Don't believe anyone at face value. Go and look for yourself. This stuff is easy to find. You can do it. And to quote Michael Smith, the light seeker, assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. So just go out there, do your own research, be your own investigator, and make your own opinion. No one else can think for you. This has been the Dark Druid, Joel Walling. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.